only my rib, as Kevin Hart calls his fiance, but I mean, he's a great guy. Prime example, he washed my daughter's hair last night so I could style it.
Cute is that?
Teamwork.
Makes the dream work. Absolutely.
So I applaud anyone who has not only just both parents involved, but also the role model or the figure of a dad. I think that is the most essential figure in the household. And if we don't have it, I came from a single parent household and I still did my thing. So you keep moving forward because God is my dad.
Absolutely. And you know what? When there's a missing part.
Yeah.
And I put candy in my mouth because I'm just rude. But when you have that missing part, though, that doesn't mean that you can't still thrive. And their mothers have been doing it for years. Do I suggest it? Do I not acknowledge that there's a deficiency when that happens? But can it turn out to be successful?
Definitely.
Absolutely. My mom held it down.
Very much so.
Now, because I had my dad in my life, but my parents weren't married, but I didn't come from a nuclear family? Is it, what?
Girl, that traditional nucleus is not even real.
Whatever that looks like. But I do know single moms that have hammered it out.
Yep.
Really, really nurtured some amazing children. And I don't know, have you heard the song by William Murphy? What is it? Why Am I Here? And he talks about his parents having him at 15 and where everybody said he was a mistake. But he was not a mistake, and he just ministers to people that have been labeled and, that stigma of you're not whole or whatever. So whatever God has blessed you with, you're enough. You're enough.
More than enough.
But we do encourage, and we need, not just encourage, we need our men.
Vital.
We need our men. They're vital. Absolutely. Somebody said, and they talked about, what about a kid that can play but can't read? That's always a problem. And I think we addressed that. Let's see. Shouldn't those that have this platform stand
for those that will never have this platform and not be viewed negatively? Yes.
Ideally, that would be perfect, but because there's so many different types of people in this world, so many people that have not had these experiences or, haven't lived a certain lifestyle, they don't understand it. So without their perspective, how would they're judgmental. We live in a world of people that are judgmental. So if I don't get it, people can't just disagree. They want to disagree and then judge. So unfortunately, that's just not the world that we live in. But we have to continue to support those that are doing things, that are making a stand for those of us who cannot.
Absolutely. For Landau, I wasn't trying to camera hog. I just couldn't maneuver it. He said he was sick of looking at me. Hey, Dennis. Dennis will be here next week on Testimony Tuesday.
All right.
Hey, if you're listening and you have a testimony out there that you want to share with me, go ahead and inbox me if you don't want to put it on my page. Let me know. Next week is Testimony Tuesday. I love testimonies because God is so amazing. He's so good.
Somebody said they coached something. Go back in.
Is that my son's youth? The team fundamentals and sportsmanship. Sportsmanship,
awesome.
That's essential because I see that spills over in how we deal with one another. And that's why you have misbehaved people, adults,
in life,
in the work. Not just in sports. You always have to get your way.
Yeah.
You don't know how to compromise. You don't seek to understand.
No patience.
Just no patience. So yes, that is a fundamental. I don't care if you play the violin, the harp. If you play nothing at all, I need you to know how to get along with others.
All right. So Maurice says, morally, how can we, blacks specifically, honestly respect the national anthem in a country where we still are not taken seriously or respected as a person, it's long, who have been under the most horrendous circumstances, have contributed to the growth and prestige of America in a nation where the operational articles classified, I think that's the title, us 1/3 human, less than the cattle they herded, and that sentiment is still very much alive in a lot of circles. Not to mention the Star-Spangled Banner praised the killing of
He's going to say slaves.
Oh, okay. He cut off.
Carolyn from the slave.
You want to tackle that first?
So, from a political standpoint, of course, obviously, I'm a person of color, and I understand the sentiment. What I implore those of us who do feel that the flag does not necessarily represent all the value of our total identity, is to be a part of the change, to be a part of the conversation that's productive, to be a part of something that is greater than ourselves, to adopt a position of educating others. Because I think when you think about the basic fundamentals of communication, communication fails if you are not able to get your message across.
Right.
And I think that's where it starts. So yes, every aspect of that comment I obviously agree with, and there will be some that don't. We can agree to disagree, but what we can't do is dismiss the concern.
And I agree with that. We can't dismiss the concern. And you said something. What did you say? I'm not going to remember, so Rusha, go. Look.
Just also with that, I think we are in a position now, like everybody's in an uprising about Colin Kaepernick. This has been going on for 50 years. We just buried one of the most renowned athletes ever, Muhammad Ali. But people fail to remember that he was the most hated athlete when he fought against going to war. You know, he said, ain't no Viet Cong call me the N-word. But this is what we suffer from here in our country. So the bottom line is, like you said, being able to have the conversation, and I can't be responsible for how you take it. Like, I can only tell you the truth. And a lot of times we have an issue with people being realistic about what's going on in the world because they don't experience it. And until we, on both sides, can understand what's happening and have an honest conversation, it will be hard to have change, but we have to continue to stand up for ourselves and not just say, okay, I quit, it's not worth it. Because when we give up on ourselves, there's no reason for them to take us seriously. No
and I think what it is sometimes we feel like there has to be an either or. I'm not against Black Lives Matter, neither am I against police. Why do I have to? For him to sit down, it didn't say to me that he hated America.
Especially because he said, I am not doing this to disrespect the troops or the
right. And I think that we so badly want to put somebody in a category or make somebody choose. Okay, I'm not going to wear LGBTQ gear, but neither am I saying that they shouldn't be treated as people.
Right.
You know, and I think that people are trying to force us, especially in spirituality, on this spiritual platform, if I don't do one thing, they're trying to make me hate something else. My God isn't a hating God. So I think that's the problem. But we don't want to see it like that. We definitely, and I think we're just a divisive people. I think we love to be divided. I think we love drama.
It's unfortunately, dichotomous thinking, as we call it, is toxic.
Yep.
It very much so is.
So let's see. I'm scrolling down, y'all. It is going to take a village. Dexter. Hey, Dexter. How are you? Absolutely. We all got to get involved. But what I really want everybody to do is be accountable. Be accountable for what you say, how you treat one another. I don't really think that we have to be, our mission has to be divisive all the time. Why don't we, sometimes you have to talk to the person that you consider to be your enemy. We'll find out that we have more things in common than we do.
And even more so than that, like, if you, think about this. If you surround yourself with people who constantly agree with you, are you going to be able to grow?
Exactly.
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
Absolutely not.
So it's a healthy way to stretch and to grow by having conversations with others who have other viewpoints.
That's how we get better in every aspect.
Fernando, I don't know, maybe you're talking to one of the other attendees, Facebookers, because I know that we didn't say that fatherhood, missing fathers, that we don't feel like that they're important or we're sending false messages. Hands down, I would not be who I am without my beautiful father in my life. And so I think
that's out of
Can
context.
I address that?
Yeah.
'Cause just even with that, like, if you have a father, is it a productive father? I don't think there's one way to say that a healthy family exists.
Right.
Like you said, that traditional family, definitely a father in the life is necessary. But what if it's a counterproductive relationship? Like, you can't just say this is the sole reason. There is no sole
and
reason
the same thing
for
from
anything.
others.
There's no sole reason for anything. So I think we can't put ourselves in a position to just put all the blame on the fact that fathers are missing, because then we got to talk about why they're missing.
Which one?
So
This one? No.
someone put, you cannot
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, you cannot excel at sports if you are truly dumb. There are plays to learn and formations to read. That takes brains on a level, and I had no father to raise me. Mom raised 5 boys, all intelligent, because education was paramount. I grew up in the crack cocaine explosion, where it truly was a dog-eat-dog world. We can affect change in first ourselves, then maybe in others. I 100%
150%
agree with all of that. That was
I think that was in response to
that was in
Yeah,
response to
yeah, I
someone
guess
else.
that was it. And
Yeah.
you know,
Really
and
going back
Fernando,
and forth.
hey, I love it. I would love for you to call us and talk to us at another time. So stay tuned, 108praiseradio.com, and let us know what's on your mind. I would love to talk about it. We don't scare away from conversations. We definitely want to answer all the questions. Time may not permit, however, it's spiritual and subconscious battle. Believers are still learning to balance. That's why mom takes care of me. That's amazing, Sam. Thank you. Listen to me. A lot of you all said some things that would go right up my alley next week for Testimony Tuesday. So if you feel so compelled, please inbox me. Let me know that you'd like to share your story, and I'll get some of them on air. As you see, our hour goes by really, really fast. Hey, we love you too, to Mikey. Those questions for Lando, send them to me. I want to answer them. Who knows? I may get these ladies. We can do a Facebook Live. We can do whatever. I'll go to them. We'll make sure that you get your questions answered. We believe in dads. We've never said. Therefore, it's all about perspective.
That was a perfect example.
It's all about perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so this has been amazing. This has been so fun. Just always too short. Always too short.
That was.
I'm gonna have to get a second hour, guys.
That was
Maybe
something.
Courtney will promote me. Hey, hashtag promote Lee. In order to have true race dialogue, there has to be bigots. Yep.
Have to want to sit at the table. You got a valid point.
Valid point, but I would just say this: we can't do name calling because then that turns off ears.
Yeah, not to their face anyway.
Look, no
You just
name
know who
calling.
they're talking
We
about.
teach people how to treat people. I'm eugenics. That's what we do. But no, so go away with this. I mean, we may have not answered your questions. What I'm saying is, be accountable, and the Bible talks about how to speak to people.
Mm-hmm.
It talks about, and I know that there's a time and a place for everything. Sometimes a soft answer turns away wrath. And then there's sometimes where you have to be assertive.
Mm-hmm.
But every fight, now, and let me tell you, and this is a whole different day, because sometimes I think as a community, we are so easily distracted. We jump on every bandwagon. Every fight's not yours. Like, there's no way. I know a lot of times when
That's not my fight.
President Obama doesn't necessarily get out in front of something, everybody's like, why isn't he speaking? Because it knowledge is nothing if you don't use wisdom.
Well, and then also you have to seek the ability to make discernment.
Exactly.
If you are still responding and reacting the same way that you would have 20 years ago, that's a problem.
That's a problem.
If you are still reactive and not responsive,
Mm-hmm.
that's a problem.
Exactly.
There's a certain level of maturity that has to be taken. There has to be a certain level of regulating your arousal levels to be able to have these types of conversations. You know, the things that we talked about today, yes, we talked about it in a sport context, but this is like life skill lessons.
It is.
Absolutely.
It
That's
is.
the one
That's-
thing
yes.
I love about sport, because you
Right.
said it earlier, it's a
Yeah.
microcosm of the world. The fact is that I learned how to work with people I don't even like.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had teammates that I didn't necessarily get along with, but when we stepped on the court,
You had to be a team.
we were a sister.
Exactly.
Also, being results oriented. I didn't need anybody looking over my shoulder to make sure I got my work done. All these things have made me be able to do other things beyond the game.
Right.
And a lot of parents are excited about that opportunity for their kids, but some people underestimate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not just about the game. There's so many things that you learn.
If you
while
look at the
playing.
different coaching staffs around, whether it's in the NBA, WNBA, NFL, if you look at it really, the coaches that are on the sidelines are not the people who were the superstars.
They were never, no,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely not.
What does that
They
say
were the
about
role
leadership
players.
building?
Right,
What does that
exactly.
say about communication? What does that
Absolutely.
say
Great
about
point.
pulling out motivation from others?
Exactly.
What does that say about really organizing various personalities and being able to piecemeal all those things together to get a job task done?
Exactly. Exactly. I love
Absolutely.
that.
Mhm.
I love that.
Very
But
great.
that gets so overlooked. The
Mm-hmm.
people behind the scenes doing all the sweat
Mhm.
equity.
Exactly.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have all these missing pieces, or moving pieces, everybody is so attracted to the star and the things that are up front. But there are so many other building blocks that have to take place in order for that to even work.
Right. Yeah. That's good. Well, you guys, it's not far. Look, it's not far. Tell them to come back.
Girl, we're going to call you next time.
They're going to do
in.
satellite Skype. We're Skyping next time. No, but this is 108 Praise Radio, Voice in the Gospel. I'm the loving LeAnn. I'm here with Angel Brutus. If you follow me, you can find her. And I am here with Rusha Brown. And these are some beautiful ladies that have blessed me with just being able to come in and just share a little bit. This is like just, they didn't even break the surface of all the stuff that we have. But there's so much more, and there's more time. So stay tuned. Next week, Testimony Tuesday. I love you, and we're out.